Hey, it's time for a cup of coffee. It's time for coffee break. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. And I always like to start coffee breaks off with a bit of a talk, if you will. I got a comment. I actually made a video about this, about the thumbs down on videos. I got this interesting comment the other day that says, anyone who likes Windows 10 gets a dislike from me. I have gotten so sick and tired about the virtues and lack thereof of different operating systems that I could just scream. So consider this, unless absolutely necessary, the last video I make covering the virtues of any particular, well, just covering operating systems in general, or defending operating systems. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't really, honestly, I don't give a rat's butt anymore. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. I don't care whether you like Windows 10 or you don't. No one makes you use any. You've got your choice out there. What a person like this makes a comment like that, I think to myself, what do? Go around to all the YouTube channels, and if it mentions Windows 10, you thumbs down the video. What is your point? What are you trying to prove? To me, it's just a tool, all right? If it runs the software I want to run, that's all that matters. Generally speaking, it's a Windows world out there for the most part. I could talk about the virtues of Windows and Windows PCs all day long. I'm not going to do that, all right? I'm not going to do that. That's just nuts. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. If you don't like Windows, don't buy Windows. Simple as that. Get you a Mac, run Linux, you got options. But to hate on something and hate the work that others do because you personally don't like it, that's just stupid. and I don't have time to, deal with it. If you're a hater, okay, haters gonna hate. I get that. And I'm just not going to pay attention to these kind of people. I just bought a new laptop, an Asus UX501. Great little laptop. I run it in clamshell mode, and I'm running video editing software. I just switched over to Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere, by the way, looks exactly the same on Mac as it does Windows. Once you get into Premiere, the operating system isn't important anymore. It's not important anymore. It's about the applications, right? It's a tool, right? You don't take a knife to a gunfight, and you don't, if what you need works well, then just go with that. So I'm just done with this kind of junk. I understand Windows 10 is, people's got issues with privacy and all this kind of stuff. I get that. But it's the most current version of Windows. I run it every day. I'm happy with it. If you don't like it, don't use it. But don't go around to content creators and thumbs down their video because you happen not to like that somebody else. It's just stupid to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just getting crotchety. I've been around. Maybe I'm just getting too old. I don't know. You tell me. Let's answer a few questions here. First question comes from Ahim M, or A-H-I-M, Ahim M. Hello, Bruce. The Newar, is it newer? I call it Newar, but maybe it's Newer. Newer 160. Wants to know, is it fully compatible with the original AX53 mount? So, what do you know? I just happen to have a Sony AX53 right here. And Sony uses a proprietary hot shoe interface. It's called a multi-interface. It's basically allows you to control microphones, power mics, flash units, etc. Through the camera with its own proprietary electronics. Draws power from the camera's batteries, so you just plug in their mic and you go. But this multi-interface shoe has little pins in there that if you try to take an ordinary device such as like a Rode VideoMic Pro or whatever, and you jam it in there, it will fit. It will fit. But what happens is that you can bend all those little pins and destroy the interface. So you actually get a little adapter for the multi-interface shoe. So that way it works as a cold shoe, but it's got, you really can't see this on the camera, but it's got like a little ledge that when it goes in, it goes up and over the pins and you don't damage the pins. And that way you can get something fully in there. If you just take something and just put it in this in this shoe and don't put it all the way, then you risk it coming out, coming loose. So it is what it is. But you get one, and you can get these really, really cheap on Amazon. Like, we're just talking a couple bucks, and then you can put your Rode VideoMic Pro or other gear on that. Now you ask about the Neewer 160 LED light. These are awesome. And they'll either take AA batteries or AA batteries, or in my case, you can also use one of those Sony batteries. I forget what model this one is, rechargeables. And that's what I use, and then I use these on light stands. Here's the problem. This is not super light by the time you put your batteries and all that on there. And this is sort of, I won't say flimsy is the right word, but it's not great. You would not want to run this up because that really won't work. You'd need the adapter, and then you would have this heavy light on top. So this would not be, you wouldn't even want to attempt to use this with this camera for on the go. It'd have to be tripod mounted. And I'm just really thinking all that weight would be too much for it. I really don't think that would be a smart way to go. Rather, what I would recommend, what I do is I got a really cheap light stand. You can put that like directly behind the camera if you have it mounted on a tripod, and then you essentially achieve the same effect. Or go with a ring light, something like that. For run and gun, I certainly wouldn't recommend this thing. I think it's kind of heavy and too big and would be too awkward. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, the next question comes from Russell Smith, who says, "Hi Bruce, thank you for your helpful advice. Question, do you feel like a program like Camtasia is sufficient for creating YouTube content? I'm considering starting a channel that will mainly consist of software tutorials for a program I sell, and was wondering if I need to purchase something as high-end as the products you were discussing, talking about like Premiere and Final Cut Pro." Look, Camtasia that's exactly what it's made for. Ultimately, recording the screen and creating a video out of that screen capture, because there's features in there for the ability, for example, to create motion graphics and do call outs and all that with Camtasia. Exactly the kind of tools you need for software tutorials. So that is exactly what you need, and it would be very difficult, if possible, to recreate some of the things you can do with the Camtasia with Premiere or Final Cut Pro and do it as easily as you can there. I really wish ScreenFlow would have a PC version, because it's half the price, extremely powerful, great stuff. Camtasia, nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of expensive, but $200. But you're going to buy it for your business, so why not have the right tool for the right job? And that's exactly what Camtasia is for. So good luck with your purchase on that. Final question comes from Aziz Merchant, who writes, "I watched some of your vlogs over the weekend. They're very good. Please start these again, ? Aziz, I tell you, I work a lot out of my home office, so most of my videos, time is spent in here, and I'm on the phone, and I just don't think it'd be that interesting. I'm not, and maybe I have very unrealistic expectations, but I think I think Casey Neistat has ruined vlogging for a lot of people. No, I mean, probably if I do something kind of cool and interesting, then yes. But it's just not the genre of video I think that I excel at. I'm glad you like them, and occasionally I will do one here and there, but it's not really me. I want to make more videos that I share information, what I've learned, and hopefully encourage others to grow and learn. And maybe I think that's kind of what I'm best at. And creativity, combining creativity, cameras, gear, lenses with software and so forth for creating video. I'm very passionate about that. I'm enjoying that, so I'll be making more videos about that. And maybe combining that with business. But I'm not going to be one of those gurus on there to tell you how to grow your channel to 100,000 subs when I don't. But it's a journey, right? And when I learn something new and kind of fun, I'll share it with you. And then we can kind of discuss in the comments down below. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody.